Oh, hey, everybody. Sorry about being a little late there. The birthday boy and myself had a few things to chat about backstage. He should be in here in just a second. Oh, what's up, Kelsey? Oh, what's up, Jeffrey? Birthday boy! Birthday boy! Woo! Go Seeber for his birthday. Here it goes. Yo, is this birthday Tiki? Yes, it's gonna be. Yeah, yeah, there it is. All
Hey,
right.
my man.
All my singing just made Kiefer mad, and he just left.
Wow, everyone's a critic, am I right? Tell him who buys the dog food around here.
What's up, dude? Happy birthday! Happy birthday, Jeff!
Appreciate that. Cheers.
Woo.
Good to see you.
Hey, cheers! Shout out to Jeff Granito and our sponsor, Surfside Sips, Andrew. I hope he's in here already. If not,
Last round, I'm doing one too.
yup.
And
Use
Jungle
code
Food.
word is this Tiki. Get 20% off your Surfside Sips order.
Nice. Yeah, he's great. It's great quality stuff. I learned a week or two ago that they're tough to break, it seems.
You can't try it.
Oh, and thank you for the birthday wishes, anyone in chat. Keep rolling them in, I'll take them. Big fan. Big fan of birthdays.
Yes. What's up, Jim Jam? What's up, Andrew? What's up, Ian?
Everyone come in, find your seat, and sit down and
talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, but not too loud because we're on stage and we're the ones who are mic'd. Thank you, Kaylala23, aka my sister, Creeps. Thank you.
Whoever that is.
It's my phone's just been going off. It was very hard to find time to get in for this. And also swung by briefly to see each other for the first time in person.
In a year.
Yeah. So we've been just fucking pounding through. Busy day. Like, roughly 70% of my day has been just responding to people.
As it should be. You're so loved.
It's nice. But I'm also very glad to have a birthday episode of this.
Yeah.
On the day.
What are the chances?
The odds are, not great. I guess it's 1 in 7 depending on the day, but someone in the audience do the math on how often one of people would have a birthday on a Wednesday when they do their show. I don't know. You don't have to do that.
We're waiting. Give us the math.
Give us the math.
What's up, Lawrence? Yeah, we got cool crew in here today. Not like our usual audience. Ugh.
That's true. We got to take on a peg. They get too rowdy. Call me out for stuff. Although, I do appreciate that. I want to say that it's, we have made claims in the past that we always own up to, but I do want to begin this episode by announcing some corrections that we've had to do or that we are in need of doing, but things we've been wrong about. Episode 12 seems like a fine time. My birthday seems like a fine time. But I made a list of things that we claimed and then had to backtrack on.
Yes.
The first one is the coconut drink emoji is a mate container, not a coconut drink emoji. Didn't know that. Looks like a straw. I blame the designers for that, but if you try to search emojis and you type in mate, you get it. If you type in coconut, nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, it's apparently a gourd.
So he kept claiming, and he was right. We're not too proud to say that we were wrong about that. A second one is the word is pronounced pertubed, not poo-tubed, which I guess one of us said last week, and I blame the Instagram.
It was probably me.
Nah, it could have been me.
I don't think so.
I don't rewatch these. Another thing was the Snyder Cut is a much better movie than the theatrical release of Justice League. We brought Snyder Cut to task. But having watched the Whedon cut of the Justice League, boy, a much better I get it now.
What's up, Christina?
Another thing that we have to retract is perturbed. You're still missing the R. Okay. Well, I guess next birthday episode, I'll make that correction.
Next time we hit episode 12.
next in episode 24. Correction is none of the children were killed during the Brady Bunch Tiki episode. I might have made some, claims.
That was on me. I was dying on that hill.
I didn't finish the episode, to be fair, but I did, and all the kids survived, so.
And I didn't watch it at all, and I was certain it was just, it was the murder episode.
The bloodbath, yeah. Well, when I turned it off, the guy had a spear, and he was facing the kids, and they were all tied up, and I was like, this can end one of two ways. And I don't see any way in which the kids survive. But the writers were good. They did it. They didn't kill any kids.
That was there were some missing scenes where that was on the cutting room floor.
In the Snyder cut. Those kids murdered. And then I'd want to apologize to our listeners, not so much our viewers, but our listeners for last week's episode where Mac showed off his Tiki Oasis finds in what was almost an entirely visual segment where I don't think we even described what you were holding. It's going to be great podcast material.
Classic.
It's absolutely what people on the podcast love is stuff that's only appreciated visually. You might have been at a store just being like, this looks cool. Oh, I like this too.
Look at the color on this one.
Boy,
never seen anything like it.
It's very nice that I can see this. So cool. I'm so blessed to be able to look at this with my eyes. If I were just listening, this would be a meaningless segment. So
probably turn it off.
Yeah. Probably tune out. So that was 5-ish things, I guess, that we could have done differently, but are not too proud to say that we biffed it.
I mean, I'm too proud. You did the redaction, so
No.
I'm not.
Oh, no, that wasn't a mistake. My mispronunciation. Dino Suselli in chat is saying, don't forget your mispronunciation of La Croix, which I don't... That still seems right.
I say Qua. I've also heard Croy, Crux,
Croix.
Croix,
Croix.
Also, let's point out that she didn't put a space between La and Croy, so we're gonna need a redaction there, please.
If it turns out we're wrong, I'll add it to the list for next time.
Earlier, Stone Flamingo Kelsey asked, so does the captain drink rum or tequila on this festive day of Cinco de Jeffo?
Great question. I usually would enjoy tequila. I'm a fan. Tequila's a fan of me. I think just by birthright, in a sense. But today I'm sticking with rum because of the episode and because of, mostly the episode, but also because I enjoy it. But mostly the episode.
Tiki Life. What are you drinking today, Jeff?
I'm doing a Planter's Punch, the classic one that I've done on the pod the last 10 of the 12 times, I think. It's simple, and it's, 5 ingredients, which isn't as much as some tiki recipes. And it's also, just lime, so I don't have to cut a bunch, and I don't have to eventually text you, as I'm always worried that, oh, Mac, we have to postpone the episode. I've severed my finger. Well, can we reschedule, or would you like while I'm in the ambulance?
Ambulance live streams, that's where we get the hits, Jeff.
Yeah.
The audience has been asking for it. Episode 13 is when we got to give it to them.
The audience wants me in an ambulance?
Well, they just want the live stream.
Oh, okay. Of me in an ambulance.
Yeah, clearly.
So I don't have to be hurt.
No.
Right.
But that way we get our first guest who's a paramedic.
Yeah.
see if he's Tiki or she
He or she.
or they.
Anyone can be a paramedic.
That all inclusive. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Ian did a live stream going to get his second shot in a CVS, and it didn't happen because they screwed him up somehow. They didn't have his shot, but he went back and got it the next day, but we didn't see that. But the live stream from the CVS was pretty great, I'm not going to lie.
COVID vaccine.
Yeah.
That's great.
That was
That's
killer.
Content.
Top notch. Everyone was so nice in his Kansas City Walgreens. There was no one, like, shooting up heroin like in LA Walgreens, so it's cool.
Whatever you like. I'm not condoning heroin use, by the way.
Some people just got to give themselves their own shots.
I'm not a huge fan of needles, so I won't ever get into that sort of stuff, but boy, you must be good with shots if you can do that.
Must be.
Must be. That's what it is. It is a PSA, though. I do appreciate that sort of, showing that he didn't mutate from the vaccine immediately. It's very quick. The doctors, I've had needle experiences at the doctors where they use some big ones. Like, if they're drawing blood, that's a bigger one, obviously. These are high-end. Like, these are nice needles that I was getting jabbed with.
The prime Stimson of needles.
Yeah, this is good quality. This is top shelf shit.
These aren't your LA CVS needles.
No. Those you feel. They try to joke with you where they're like, all right, I'm going to put it in, and they've already stuck you. And it's like, you didn't fool me, but I appreciate the effort.
When I got my first shot, the lady hit me, and she's like, oh, you flinched. And I was like, well, it's because you tickled me. And she's like, huh?
You get 2 for flinching. Stuck you again with another dose.
Like, all the same day.
Is this safe?
She's like, you flinched. And I was like, oh, that's because you tickled me. And she goes, oh, I'm really sorry. I was like, oh, I thought we had banter. No, we're fine here. We're fine.
Mine said to me, you got to relax your shoulder. And I was like, I'm just really strong. What do you want?
I'm not flexing. I'm just Maui.
So that was cool. But they were great.
Hell yeah. What's the biggest needle you've encountered?
What's that?
What's the biggest needle you've encountered in your lifetime? What's up, Rob?
When I got surgery 2 years ago to get an infinity stone removed from my arm, they stuck one in the top of my hand that was just, it stayed there. They taped it down. It was quite big, and then, it was just very uncomfortable to have to sit there with that sitting in my hand for a while, and then they wheeled me in to do the surgery, and that needle was for all the good drugs. Released a fucking valve. Oh, you're buffering. Okay, sorry. It was weird for a second.
Yeah, so, we're back.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. So then they released, and all the stuff that you're like, I'll agree to anything. Do
it. Cut it all out.
Well, maybe not that, but I was like, you know what? I believe in you guys.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest one. That was not pleasant. But then, on average, the biggest one I would see is, blood work.
Yeah, that makes sense. When I had meningitis when I was in college, and I got a spinal tap. Ian, have you gotten a spinal tap as well? Woo! That thing is it's like a Surfside Sip straw. Check out Surfside Sips, our sponsor. If you need any glass straws, use the code word "Is this Tiki" for 20% off your glass straw. Anyways, the spinal tap. So I'd gone into the emergency room with this unbelievable headache, right? And they just they were like, okay, I like couldn't even. No one could even talk to me without me just being like, "Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!" So they just like hit me with a bunch of morphine, and they're like, "Hey, we got to do a spinal tap. It's gonna hurt." They're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, go for it." And they're like, "Oh, we're already doing it. Are you all right?" And I was like, I'm on so much morphine, I don't even know." And they pull this thing out and like set it next to me, and it's like it's fucking big around.
It clangs on the table.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Okay, so you win the biggest needle contest.
Hey, it's not a contest.
I appreciate your tie-in to our sponsor with a spinal tap operation. That's impressive.
I don't know if you guys can see this, but drinking out of a Surfside sip straw, it's the best thing in the world.
You kind of went slow on my end for a bit. I don't know if you froze for anybody else. But
Well, let's fix that.
that is fantastic.
Woo! I put too much orgeat in the Mai Tai, and it is almondy.
You know what I would like to see as a straw from our sponsor is one that's just like a saxophone.
That's brilliant.
Andrew, if that's possible, I will order one. I don't know if a saxophone is tiki, but
It could literally be a glass and a straw where you just pour it in the bottom and you just suck it up.
wow. Yeah, that's great.
Andrew, we got ideas here.
All right. Andrew says it's on. Good. You guys heard it here.
Yeah.
Straw.
I love it.
Strawsophone, whichever you want to call it.
It's perfect.
It's happening.
Asham's here. What up, dude?
And our dude still yelling at people as they quietly enter the stadium.
The amphitheater.
Yeah.
Ash, now that we got you on here, when Andrew says he's gonna make a straw that looks like a hypodermic needle for me. That's money.
That'd be tight.
I love it. Andrew, I got another one that I wanted to pitch to you. We'll talk later. Maybe I'll bring it up here in a second. Whatever. Ash, when are we getting some Wandering Goblet back? God damn it. My weekends are so boring without your cocktails, bro. I'm trying to give you my money. Give me your cocktails. I know we've talked about this on the podcast before. Ashim and his beautiful lady were doing Wandering Goblet cocktails, which was delivery cocktails that they were making every weekend, and they were fire, and I'm missing them.
He makes some good drinks.
Mm-hmm. Way better than this crap I made that I'm drinking.
Well, you again, I don't want to blow up your spot backstage, but you were like, I didn't have orgeat, I improvised. It was okay. Not recommended.
Not good. I mean, it's fun. Val makes killer Mai Tais. She makes them all the time, and they're great. But I am a terrible mixologist, so.
Some people are good. You know what? That says to me, I don't know if you're a huge Harry Potter fan, but potions class may not have been your strong suit.
Yeah, definitely not.
But we get you on the Quidditch pitch.
Maybe I got a bad back. I don't know.
They have magic for that, man. You don't have to worry about your back.
I need spine magic. Spine magic. I need a hat that I put on that sorts out my vertebrae.
That should be an item in the canon of Harry Potter. Spine fixing hat?
Yeah.
Harry, don't put that on! Because if your spine is good, it cripples you.
Yeah. Yeah. It just twists it into like a Rubik's Cube.
Why would you have this just out in the open for someone to put on?
You can't just leave that around.
You can't leave this crippling hat around. We're going to see that in one of the new movies at this point.
I hope so. That's the plot of the next trilogy.
Speaking of plots and trilogies, I believe you saw the start of what I'm assuming is going to be a franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
Mai Tai Combat.
Did we agree on that? Okay.
I've just been slinging it around.
All right. But we're going to be discussing it now if you haven't seen it. Or I don't know if we can even spoil anything, but there are things. I didn't play the games, like I said before. Loved it. Had a great time.
Loved it. It was the exact sort of like summer blockbuster that I'm looking for, where it's really what I was hoping that Godzilla versus Kong was going to be, and that was pretty disappointing. This significantly better.
Yes. I think because more characters were at play, and with Godzilla vs. Kong, you know who the two stars are going to be from the get. You don't care what
Yeah. And, I mean, you had fight scenes basically throughout the whole thing, which I loved.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted. If you gave me Kong versus Godzilla, and they were just Mortal Kombat fighting the whole time, and we didn't go to
Love it.
Middle Earth,
Yeah.
I would have loved it.
Yeah. And Mortal Kombat also, I think GVK was in the same sort of like length of movie, which I really appreciate. Mortal Kombat, I think, was an hour 38 before credits, maybe?
That's I think with credits the timestamp said like
So around
an hour 50, I think is what it was.
But 138, 98 minutes, fine.
Give it to me.
So much just action. He fights a Machamp. I don't know how much into Pokemon you are, but he fights a Machamp.
That he did.
Oh, if I could have Stone Flamingo was asking worth going to the drive-in for. If you don't have HBO Max, absolutely. I would have loved to have experienced this in a theater.
Same.
With people being like, ah, oh no, or however, that's what I sound like in a theater.
Cheering for all of the like video game lines that they put in.
Yeah, which were not heavy-handed. I thought.
It was great. They're like, if you haven't played it, you're aware of the video game. You know the main general, all this, and they're just like, here, I'll just pepper it in for you, just here and there, just not a lot.
They will make it work. Don't worry.
It was great. Like literally everything I wanted from the video game movie, which made me think, what was a better video game movie adaptation?
I don't think I can't think of one that there has been. It's a tough thing because people don't give them the sort of respect like they did for this one, which was both, we'll make it its own thing. It's also going to have blood splatter like it's a cartoon.
Yes.
Like in the beginning, and these are not spoilers, we won't spoil it, but in the beginning there's a scene where a samurai are fighting, and the blood splatter is like just buckets of paint out of people.
Yep.
It's not overly gory, though there were a few scenes where I was like, wow, you stepped on the gas for this. So I would be over a certain age before I watched it, or relatively okay with a degree of bloodshed, but it's not, if you could watch Game of Thrones, you could handle this.
Yeah, if it didn't push it any further than the game goes. I will say that from someone who has played the game. And I loved that the whole movie was basically just like a rated R Power Rangers. As far as like you get your main people, and then they're doing their thing.
Team.
Yeah.
This guy's Kirk. Here she is. Here's the main guy. Here's Zoltron. What was the name of their?
Yeah, Voltron.
Their buddy. No, they're.
Oh, the guy in the head in the tube.
I think it was Zordon.
Zordon. Yeah, that sounds right to me.
I think it was. I think that was the Power Rangers guy.
That sounds right. And Alpha, right? He was the like droid, the C-3PO.
Yeah. When I finished watching, I did kind of want to play the game, which I think is high praise. And I went to YouTube and I looked up just the original first version video game fatalities. And I was like, I get it. These look very little like that, but I get it.
Yeah. They definitely brought all the rightness.
Yeah.
It was good.
And might I again, not spoiling anything, but possibly, and I will not walk this back later in one of our apology sections, possibly the best of get over here in modern cinema.
Sorry, you froze for a second there. I heard the best froze.
The best line delivery of the line, get over here in modern cinema.
I 100%.
Historically belongs in a museum.
Agreed. You'll see this line at the Getty.
Yeah, it should be. Just that one scene.
I loved it though. Like it was, as soon as it started, we got through the first scene, and Val and I were both like, okay, this has way more quality than I was expecting out of the gate, and I'm all about it. So one, Ian said that Doom was... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I got nothing. Doom...
Oh, okay.
Was,
you're back.
Is it fucking up again? We'll figure it out. Doom was the Rock movie, right?
Yeah, if I remember right. I didn't actually see it.
I haven't either.
But they did have... I remember it having... if I'm not mistaken, there's one point in the movie that it's like all POV, maybe like the last 20 minutes of the movie, I think, is like POV, as if you're in the video game, which I always wanted to see, but I heard that movie was terrible, so I'm curious about your take on that, Ian.
We might have to watch it now, but I heard not great things. They tried to do justice to a lot of the references. I know they referenced the BFG, the big fucking gun, I believe it's. But that's no Kano wins.
Just, okay.
I was like, I get it. I think I get it. I think that's a reference.
Dude, that guy who played Kano was the best part of the movie for me. He was primo.
Really great. I agree. He was just such a dick, but also like really leaning into the role. Great performance. As soon as he arrived, I was suddenly, and now the action started hiking up there too.
Mm-hmm.
But I was very much into it.
Yeah.
If
really
they
great.
Make sequels, I will be shocked. I would think they will do more of this.
Especially because I feel like all of the response that I've heard from people is all just like, oh man, you gotta watch. It's way better than you're gonna think it's gonna be. I'm like, oh shit, word.
Yeah. It's not for everybody, but if you like this sort of thing, like, by all means.
Yeah.
And the choreography, just getting into the, logistics of it, great fucking fight scenes.
Totally.
Like, seriously good work and not an overabundance of CGI in a way that is distracting. Again, there is a Machamp Pokemon, a four-armed monster. Yeah.
I love that they gave you just enough of like, this is what Mortal Kombat is. There's like 2 worlds or whatever. And it's like, cool, that's all I needed. Now I can suspend all the disbelief that I need to suspend, and I'm in.
Absolutely agree. They
Yeah.
really didn't, lean too heavily on, we better explain this universe. We gotta explain why this guy has ice powers. I don't care. I knew nothing about the game, except, there's some characters named Scorpion, and there's a guy named... At the same time, I think the main guy was never a character in the game. They made this guy. And
correct.
Fine with it. Love it.
Yep.
And I think that might have been part of the key to it, is that you have a cinematic adaptation in a way that is fresh, but also honest to what the story is.
Totally.
That's what...
You can really only pull so much story out of a fighting video game like that, and they pulled all the right amount.
Yeah, because it's going to be the fight scenes, but you have to make us care about the people doing the fighting, or care that they live or die, or that this person needs to get their ass kicked, you know? They did it.
Big time.
Great movie. This podcast absolutely supports, if you're into that sort of thing, watching Mortal Kombat.
We'll go on record to say.
It's a thumbs up from us.
Yep.
It's 3 pineapples. We haven't even talked about what that system would be.
We should just say, should we change up the system, everybody? Should we go from 1 to 1,000 pineapples?
Well, that's the same thing, Mac. That's the same thing. We'll just give an arbitrary amount of pineapples.
Fled199 here asked, was Mortal Kombat Annihilation any good? Couldn't bring themselves to watch it. So that was the, if you're not aware, because there were 2 Mortal Kombat movies that came out prior in the 90s.
Right.
I want to say like 94, 96, and 98 or something when they came out. As far as I'm aware, they were both terrible. If I remember seeing them at one point or another, and they were not good. Like, fun bad, 90s bad, but not good.
I feel like, and there are action movies that would disprove this theory, but I feel that in the 90s, they hadn't yet figured out what to do with video game movies. They hadn't figured out that fight choreography is the bread and butter. Like, that's the foundation for these movies if you want them to be good. And I think they tried too hard to plug in, to just, like, cram it in a video game reference, whereas here it feels very natural, which is weird with a video game.
Totally. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say that there was a Mortal Kombat TV series that happened for a while in the late 90s, maybe like 99 or even 2000, something like that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I almost want to say it was on like UPN. I think it came on after WWF SmackDown on Friday nights.
You sound crazy.
Rob says it sucked. Thanks, Rob. He knows.
Was there that show?
I think so.
I'll check it out, I guess.
I vaguely remember. I think the main character was Raiden, if I'm remembering, or Raiden, however you say his name. The lightning guy.
His name is, like, Rain, then lightning. Remember how to say Raiden.
Yeah. Wait, it was
Dune. It was anime? Oh. There was an anime Mortal Kombat TV series.
I'm thinking of something else. Entirely. I remember a live action show. Am I totally misremembering this? Was there not a live action Mortal Kombat show?
Mac, I'm writing it down for apologies, okay?
I'm dying on this hill. Yeah. Also, I wanted to touch on, because Ian earlier had said, also, if you haven't already, if you love Mortal Kombat and Power Rangers, watch PG Psycho Gorman, which he has been touting for a long time, and it's one that I really want to watch. It looks like a super over the top, like uber gory, like blood fun fest, from what I understand. I haven't seen it yet, but
if you're into that,
the trailer look. I'll send you the trailer later. It looked like something that looks pretty wild.
Yeah, I'll at least check it out.
Yeah.
Jim Jam 143 says he can confirm there was a live action show. There you go.
Yes. Okay. Not going. Don't have to redact dick.
That's all it takes, guys. Speak up. Be the change in the world.
Wait, now I'm even more curious now about the anime Mortal Kombat. Was that any good, Rob? Wait, he said it sucked right before that.
Yeah, so probably not. But
So probably not.
hard to say.
Cool. You want to get into questions?
Yeah, sure. You want to actually, you do one and I'll do one and then you do one.
Let's do it.
I have.
So, Chief Tiki Tay asks, "Why are you so damn beautiful, Jeff?"
That's what he asks?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Oh, that's tough. I think just, I should have gotten this one backstage first. Their answer souped up. But no, what I'm going to say is, blessed by genetics, I try to take care of myself, and I also just try to be a good person, because I think if you're good, you don't get slammed by life as hard. That's my guess. Radio Wastelands is right. It is my mom. I look like, my sister looks like my mom. My brother looks like my dad. I look like half of each. So it's the most beautiful parts of each parent.
Agreed. I am going to say it's because of that beautiful Razor Ramon-esque gold chain. Let's show that off for the people.
That helps, but
Woo!
That's it's a part birthday gift, part kind of tiki, piratey, like I feel like a pirate king would probably wear this. And also part R.I.P. DMX. Miss him every day. This isn't a joke, Mac. I miss him.
Did X give it to you?
That would have been great. I wouldn't have just started wearing it if he did, but yeah. No, he willed it in his, will to me.
DM Jeff.
I won't take his moniker unless it's given to me. That will still, but. Mac, one of my questions is, if you could revive anybody from the dead, but 10 random people would die in the world, would you do it?
No.
No?
No, wouldn't do it.
10 random people.
I like those 10 people.
Think about how many... Oh, you don't want the deaths of 10 strangers or possibly people you know on your shoulders?
Yep.
I think the odds are pretty good that it wouldn't be people you know if you consider the population of the world.
Those odds are great.
Yeah. But you wouldn't do it?
Deep down, I'm an empath. Can't help it.
Well, that's very kind of you. I might bring...
Unless Kiefer or Randy passed away, then I will kill 1,000 people to bring back my dogs.
Oh, there we go. All right, we did it. I treated myself on iTunes to Prince and the Revolution live at Syracuse.
Ooh.
And I was like, man, boy, do I miss this guy. And that was where that question came from. Would 10 randos around the world dying, but bringing Prince back he would make a lot of new music and make a lot of people happy, probably.
I mean, it's not a bad point.
Yeah, I don't think I would do it, though. I gotta agree with you.
What if it was like, you're like, yeah, I'll do it, and then like 10 people in your immediate vicinity who you love dearly all just like dropped?
Well, that's not so random, is it? Those odds suck.
Still random.
Here's the thing, Mac. I've been in a casino before, and if that happens, I'm like, what the fuck's going on at roulette? That's 1 in 36 that I can't hit. Or 30, whatever the number. I think it's 36.
Yeah.
I would be very pissed off.
Yeah. I don't blame you. Oh wait, we got something going on in the chat here.
Oh, these are good questions.
John Carpenter, best 10-year stretch in cinema history, 77 to 78. Okay, so, Now, are we asking specifically that John Carpenter's best 10-year stretch was then, or are we saying the best cinema history stretch was 77 to 87? Because I gotta say that, what was it, like 90, was it 96? There's one year in the late 90s where every movie was good. I think it was when like Face Off came out with Cage and Travolta. But
Yeah.
like there were so many movies that year. I think like Liar Liar was that year, and like there was like a grip of them. If Scotty were on here, if my homie Scotty were on here, this was always his take on this, and he's not wrong.
That the year of good cinema.
Yeah,
We'll have to have him on.
we will, I guess. I haven't talked to him in a minute, but yeah, we should. We should have Scotty on. I'm gonna hit him up right now.
No, Mac, don't. But sorry. And then best 10-year stretch. We'll have to look that up. I don't know what. To answer Acme Tiki, that was in 1985, which is crazy because, you know, Prince was killing it then, still killing it up until he passed.
Oh wow, and he was at that concert.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Are you cheering in it? Jim Jam asks, is necromancy Tiki? I think there's a case to be made. If a drink is called the zombie...
I feel like there's a lot of necromancy and voodoo. Am I saying that right? Necromancy? Am I pronouncing that correctly? I don't want to... I'm not trying to redact anything in 12 episodes. I feel like there's a lot of crossover between that and voodoo.
Yeah.
Which I feel voodoo is relatively tiki. So, man, where's necromancy fall on your scale, Jeff?
I mean, necromancy is not going to be that high, but it's going to be in like a 300-ish, I would say, 200 to 300. But voodoo is up higher because of the regions that it has occurred in. You know,
Okay, yeah.
You can see all over the country. That's just a catch-all term for the act of raising dead and using them to do your bidding. Voodoo is very specifically this region that has, you know, parts of necromancy in it, but also I think deals with fortune telling and like future seeing and whatnot as far as magic goes. I don't practice either, I want to explain. I just know about them, so in case anyone's getting that vibe. Creeper's Cove says, you can't guarantee Prince would come back and make music again. He might just chill and do nothing. We don't know what these undeads would do upon their return. That's true. That's a good point. So I could just have the lives of 10 randos on my shoulders, and then Prince just kicks back.
What if Prince then came over and murdered you? So not only did you kill 10 people, and Prince isn't doing anything, but now he's a murderous zombie who has killed you.
So Prince sort of, it follows, just comes for me?
Yeah.
I would not take this monkey paw scenario. I would want to make sure that wasn't the case. Honestly, Mac, that's probably a worst case scenario. No, sorry. That's a Mackie paw, not a monkey paw.
It's more tiki. What do you want?
That's fair. Holy Birthday Batman is right, Emma. It's the birthday episode, and we're talking murder. If you could kill 10 people at random, but you brought back one person, would you do it? Also, the person might kill you, I guess, now, because Mac has augmented the rules in a way that I do not agree with.
Pray I don't augment them any further. How was your May the 4th, by the way? Did you do anything Star Wars-y?
No. Well, not Star Wars-y, but it was good enough. It's called the Eve of Jeff Day in this household, so it's not. I love Star Wars. I'm a big fan. I sent you, if you recall, the fantasy football people. Again, I'm plugging fantasy football into this podcast, but people on the NFL Network were talking about if they were to draft a football team using Star Wars characters, who would they pick? And they fucked up.
They fucked up.
Here's a hot take that I will not redact. They fucked up.
I'm with you on this. You sent it to me. I watched it. You made some very good points to follow it up. I couldn't agree more. I think that they drafted Chewie first, which you made a great point on that, which was if we're drafting Star Wars people into the NFL, Chewie's a great one, assuming you can't be using mind tricks and it's all what's being done on Earth. Yeah. Chewie's going to be great. Oh, what's up, Omar? But Jedi, first and foremost,
You
definitely.
get someone with a lightsaber, at least in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
If you're drafting in such a way.
I had said General Grievous because of all the arms being so robotic. There's no stamina there. Sorry, say it again.
That's a pass catcher.
Yeah.
What? You're going to hold his 2 arms and then these other 2 are going to get it? No,
he's going to stiff arm everybody. He's good, man. He's good. But anyone who can do a force jump all the way up and infinite possibilities.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know why. So if anyone didn't see the clip, but it's with analysts who on the NFL Network
have suit and sand.
Nothing else to talk about because it's May and football doesn't start for another 3-4 months, whatever, in August, late August, September usually. May the 4th, we're drafting a team. The first pick, Chewbacca. Second pick, Han Solo. Third pick, Yoda. Took a long time to get to Yoda, and I don't know if he would have been my first one. Like, he's obviously you want a Force guy. Yoda would probably be great. I don't know what that was.
Did you get an alarm?
My iTunes profile wanted me to sign in.
Well, Jeff.
I'm not gonna. But for me, first round pick, the Rancor, the beast from Jabba's palace. The thing's huge and bloodthirsty. Who's gonna stop that? Han Solo is not a pick unless you can use the Millennium Falcon on the field, which seems unfair. I don't think he's known for sports.
Mm-mm.
Third pick, Jabba the Hutt, lineman, and who's tackling him?
Can I pick the Death Star?
No, I think because that's a vehicle.
Okay.
But droids are an interesting, because those are arguably machines, but also characters. And
sentient, right. There's got to be sentience to it, I think.
Yeah. Just it's a character, not something that somebody drives.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, why wouldn't you pick the fucking ATSTs from Endor? Except for that, if 2 people tackle the same leg, it'll probably go.
Right. Han Solo would be a good choice for, like, coach, I feel.
Right, if he cares, but yes, I agree.
If he cares. And clearly, I made the point of Palpatine being the Jerry Jones, Robert Kraft character, because that's obvious.
Don't even need to draft him.
No.
He'd be great.
Yeah.
And so that's what, whenever they talk about these draft sort of things, I'm always perplexed, because what are the, like, sort of moves you can use on the field? If you can force lightning somebody on the field, like in lieu of a stiff arm, well, maybe I'm going to add those people. But I'm also...
Force push, bro.
You're out of bounds. Don't run back in, because if you touch me, it's illegal.
You got to establish yourself first. Lawrence says the Death Star could be a team bus or plane. Perfect. Yep. I'm drafting that for my team bus and plane.
Like, that's just a stadium. I don't think that did a lot of moving. Like, I agree, you can put players on it, but I'd want that to be a stadium. Here's the other thing.
That's no stadium.
This should be a video game. Sorry. This should be a video game.
Yes. It's like NFL Blitz, but like Lucasfilm Blitz.
Absolutely insane. I'm very into it. 5 people to tackle Jabba because he's so squishy and heavy. And the only way, I wanted to say this, the only way that Chewbacca is drafted first is in a sort of let the Wookiee win situation, where if he's not, he tears your arms off like you're playing chess with him.
Yes, 100%.
It's essentially Space Jam. Emma Birdie is asking, Space Jam but with Star Wars and baseball, yes? It's football, but yes. Otherwise, pretty much exactly right.
That's Star Jam.
That's Space Wars. I would, if it's baseball, by the way, I'm picking someone with a lightsaber. All of a sudden, General Grievous is easily a first-round pick.
Bam!
It's it 4 times. Where's it going? What about those bulldog pig guards in Jabba's palace? Yes. Great. I would say probably defense. I think they'd be brutal.
Yeah.
Unless you have a Rancor on offense, which I would. And God help you then.
I'm also loving assistant coach Admiral Akbar from Suit and Sand. He's like...
It's a QB trap.
You got it. I was like, yep, that was it.
Boom, boom, boom. They write themselves. May the 5th. It's Jeff Day.
Let's get into some more questions. Kelsey the Stone Flamingo asks, "Happy birthday" with an exclamation mark.
That's great. Thank you. That's one of my favorite questions so far.
Finally, something relevant.
Finally. Who would be cheerleaders? So, obviously, Jar Jar. And probably that green... She had the 2... The actual name is a Twi'lek, is the name of that species.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but she was the dancing one at the Jabba's palace. She got eaten by the Rancor. I'm really on about the Rancor today, and I'm not usually, but every road seems to lead back to them.
All roads lead to Rancor, bro.
But I would say, yeah, probably Gungans. It would depend on the team what the cheerleaders are, and I would think like a droid-based team would have those Episode 1 BattleBot guys.
But I mean, what about the clones? You have unlimited cheerleaders.
Yeah, but which of them have, like, the it factor?
That's why you got to have America's Got Talent-esque show to figure it out.
Yeah, that's true. Cheerleaders are a good question.
That is a good question.
I don't know. I usually just do the drafting.
You would definitely have the drum line of the Mos Eisley Cantina band.
I was gonna say they're doing the music. That's obvious.
Yeah.
That's one. Emma Birdie always thought that Jar Jar and that sloth from Ice Age deserved one another. Look, Emma, write the fanfic and I'll read it. We'll plug it.
She said she's only seen 2 Star Wars. Which 2 Star Wars?
That is a good... Emma, I wouldn't answer that because people are going to come either mention it privately or put your neck on the chopping block here because that's going to get... I've seen the first one and the last one.
Yeah.
Metal bikini, be a cheerleader. Here's the thing. I don't think that was a choice for Leia, so I'm not going to put her in that role. I would think that the metal bikini would be a cheerleader guard that people put on willingly.
Yeah.
I would hope.
I mean, people cosplay it, so it's a cool outfit.
Yes. It's iconic.
Yeah.
And then that's the one way
I'm wearing it under this.
Yeah, I know. You mentioned that backstage, and when you came to see me for my gifts, you showed me, and I was like, why? That was yesterday night.
Return of the Fifth, bro. Or Revenge of the Fifth. It's been a while since I've seen him.
That's true though. That's good. Hot damn. That's great. I'm walking into a boxing class, so I'm going to go ahead and plead the fifth. Emma, this is when we're going to have you on as a guest. We'd like to have you on during your boxing class.
Live stream boxing.
Enjoy the boxing class. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I'm going to find out what episodes she's seen. And I'm just going to tell, maybe we tell the podcast at one point, but I would watch them. The original 3 are especially fantastic.
Yeah. My thing is that none of them are without their extreme severe plot holes, but that doesn't take away from the story for me. The newest ones, a lot of people get a problem with. I still loved them. I don't care.
Conservatively, another 90 minutes just about the new ones. Because I have some hot takes. I have some, I think, defendable takes. I've been over it all. And I think the Mandalorian series on Disney Plus is the best thing to happen to the franchise in possibly decades.
Easily.
Fantastic.
Did you watch the Clone Wars and such?
The animated series?
Yeah.
I haven't, but I've also heard great things. Like people...
That's
really?
what I hear as well. I have also not... I've started it and just haven't had the time to get into it. Because I know they just released the Bad Batch, I think it's called, which is like the follow-up to that.
And Zarasaurus in chat will agree with this, have not once seen that like promoted and read the word as batch rather than bitch. I've only ever seen, and my brain was then like, oh yeah, it's bad bitch.
It's the bad bitch.
The bad bitch.
It's about Jabba, the bad bitch.
It could be about a lot of characters. There needs to be a movie just about pod racing. I can agree with that. That was such a, I know they wanted to put in that sort of high-speed action, but I did not, I can see why people would have problems with it considering it didn't really do anything else with, like, the rest of the series.
Yeah. And I mean, because the episodes 1 through 3 are really god-awful, but it doesn't make them not fun.
They have their redeeming factors.
Yeah, I still enjoy watching them, but this movie is fucking trash.
A mini-series, mini-series about pod racing. You froze, I'll wait.
No, you froze.
Sorry. You froze.
You did.
We've got pond shot first type scenario. There needs to be a fucking series about pod racing.
It should be right? It should be like a 30 for 30 on like NASCAR, but with pod racing.
Yeah. I don't know what 30 for is that laps?
Oh, have you never watched a 30 for 30? It's like the ESPN documentary series.
Oh yeah.
So
no.
they'll choose like ESPN will choose like anything from like there's a really great one on Holyfield, which like peaked at the Holyfield versus Tyson. There's been a bunch of great ones. You got to watch some 30 for 30s, bro.
Bro, you got to watch some 30 for 30s.
Bro, you got to watch them.
I'll check it out. It's on ESPN. Ever like yeah.
Yeah, I assume they're probably all on. Yeah, I assume they're on ESPN Plus, which I assume that you have with Disney Plus.
I got it somewhere. Yeah, I can get in that.
Somewhere.
I think coming up on our.
Said some more questions.
One was from Zarasaurus Rex. That was statement, not a question. Jeff's bday is Tiki. And, I think that's kind of overstepping yourself as an audience member. Like, we make the calls, okay? I appreciate the sentiment. I think she's right, but we're the professionals. No,
I'm giving it I'm giving it 5 pineapples / 1,000 points on my Tiki scale for Jeff's
Perfect.
birthday.
I'll take that. Yeah, no. That's statement. I'll take it.
Jeff, you froze again. Jeff, you froze.
I don't know what's happening. Am I moving now?
Yeah, now you're moving.
Okay. I was saying very kind sentiment, and I agree with it. Zarasaurus is right.
As usual. Next, I got from New Cap in Town is the pink flamingo hat I see worn at the Kentucky Derby Tiki. Now, this one I sent to you because I had to look this up because I did not watch the Kentucky Derby. And a quick Google search of flamingo hat Kentucky Derby brought up this hat that is definitely the tikiest hat that comes to the Kentucky Derby.
I agree. So look it up. What, just flamingo derby hat?
I would say flamingo hat Kentucky Derby.
Flamingo hat Kentucky Derby, yeah. Yeah, it's... My iPad is falling.
Beautiful.
Leaving it like that. Yeah, it was one of the... If not the tikiest hat there. It's just, if you want to look it up, or if you don't care to, it's just a fucking sort of derby hat with a big flamingo on it.
I saw a couple that had like 2 flamingos on it. People were doing crazy shit with that hat.
Yeah, there's a surprising amount of flamingo derby hats.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's just the infusion of tiki culture into the derby sort of, that culture, which is a different podcast that I'm also on. Is this derby?
Is this Kentucky Derby?
Is this Kentucky Derby? With my buddy Ken.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kelsey, when New Cap asked this, I was like, did Kelsey ask this? Oh no, Kelsey's gonna love these hats. Andrew says jockeys and flamingos are both yard ornaments. He's not wrong.
That is true. And thank you, Radio Wastelands. That's very appreciated for the birthday wishes.
Always good dudes. Radio Wastelands and Ian, man. Creepers Cove. Love those guys. Great podcast. Yep. Every Tuesday, shouting them out all the time. Love them.
Yeah.
5 o'clock our time, I think, is when it comes on.
5 Pacific, 8 Eastern, in between.
Sometime in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah. So 5 and
8. My cousin Jake asks, is Cinco de Mayo Tiki?
So this falls into the category of, and we're coming up on the end of our episode, I would say, but I'll absolutely answer this. It's the same category as is tequila tiki. And I think the answer is no, because Cinco de Mayo was its own thing well before, I don't know if it was before tiki culture, but it was independent of tiki culture. It means something different. It's not, Polynesian affiliated. You can have Cinco de Mayo parties at a variety of bars and it's fine. But I don't think it's necessarily out of respect for what it is. Tiki.
Agreed. I would say, however, the fact that this is also your birthday, it makes the 5th of May kind of tiki. Maybe not Cinco de Mayo, but the 5th of May is pretty tiki.
That's very kind of you. I'm glad to bring that energy to it.
I don't write the rules, bro. You got born. You talk to your mom about that.
I will, and I do.
Hey, Mom. Thanks for really pushing the Mexicans out of this tiki holiday.
I don't think I'm not saying that to
her. Next, from Ian. He's referencing Thunder Force on Netflix. Apparently, they eat at Trader Vic's I have not seen this show.
This is the first I'm hearing of it.
I think it's with what's her name and the other lady.
Okay.
What's the heavyset lady who's really funny? Everybody loves her. She was in Spy. She's been in a bunch of shit.
Oh, I know who you mean. I love Spy, by the way. Spy is a great movie.
That movie is hilarious. Val turned me on to that one. That movie is great.
My dad turned me onto that one.
Nice. So, anyways, I did not see this, but he asked, is it the most Tiki superhero? I haven't seen it, so I can't comment on that, but I will. Melissa McCarthy. Thank you, Ian. That's her name.
Melissa McCarthy, Octavia Spencer is in it.
And Octavia Spencer, yeah, who is so great and everything. Assumedly also in Thunder Force. Haven't seen it. But he asks, I'm going to split his second part of his question off. What's the most Tiki superhero?
Great question.
Great question.
Oh, boy. Are we talking Marvel, too? Like, I guess it would have to be. Marvel, DCU.
Everything, right?
That's... Aquaman?
See, that was my first thought as well. Fish. Talking to fish. Dolphins and
Your first line of logic behind it is fish?
Batman's not talking to fish. Batman has
no
nothing to do with
one's
fish.
saying Batman. It's not Batman.
Did you happen to see that? Oh, Kelsey worked on Aquaman. Oh, neat.
Well, that makes it more Tiki.
That is a little more Tiki. Also, how did I just blank on his name? The guy who played Aquaman. What's his name? Give it to me.
Momoa?
Yeah, Jason Momoa went to... I would see him at my old climbing gym over in Culver City when I used to live on that side of town.
Oh, God.
He would come in with his daughter, and I was like, God damn, that guy is hot. Wow, look at his tattoos. So hot. Jesus.
I can't imagine there was a wall that he wasn't just like, and then when he tried to climb it, just lifted off entirely.
He wouldn't actually climb anything. He would just pull everything down to himself.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, he's fantastic.
Yeah, jamming it into the ground. Lawrence asked, why not Maui from Moana? Okay, so that's an interesting question because Maui is a demigod. Thor, also a demigod. Is Maui a superhero?
Hard to say. Sorry,
hard to say.
Not asking so much as saying, I'm only here to hear about tiki mugs again. What the fuck kind of crap is this? Fair question. Argue, we've still got mugs in play, but we're trying to decide which superhero is the most tiki, and this has bamboozled us. But I wouldn't ever consider Maui a superhero given his body of work in the sense of media and,
Does he have any comic book adaptations?
That's the thing.
Thank you, Acme Tiki. I was just going to bring this up. Recently, apparently, in a new comic series that is currently going, the X-Men opened up a superhero tiki bar on their secret island. And I think I posted this on my story maybe like a month ago or something. And it's this cool spread of like this crazy volcano tiki bar with like a bunch of Marvel superheroes and villains all in there enjoying the bar. And it's great.
I'm very into that.
Yeah.
And the Phantom lives in a tropical cave, fights pirates. If there is a pirate superhero, which you get into Guardians of the Galaxy or kind of space pirate type things.
Uh-huh.
Also, Olmec from Legends of the Hidden Temple. I don't know if I know you're named after him, but I don't think he's a superhero. His acts of heroism are, as far as I'm concerned, dooming children to die in his temple. I don't think that's a win, Johnny. I'm sorry. But it's not.
He's going to be about as superhero as like Zordon or whatever his name is, right? Because he's the one giving. He's like, I'm letting you know what's what.
Yeah.
He's the voice of reason.
He's the presence, but not the heroic presence.
Yeah.
Instructor. We have a better, chance of making a case for the superheroes from SpongeBob that were whatever their names were.
Krillman or whatever. Yeah. The guy with the thing on his face.
Yeah, he had the starfish.
Yeah.
I'll have to look it up, but that would be a better case for me.
Because then, The Rock is playing Black Adam, who is a DC superhero in a movie coming up, but I'm not familiar with the comic with that character at all, so hard for me to say.
We'll have to do some homework. This is a good question.
This is a good question.
The most Tiki, because we can easily say, like, Batman, not Tiki. No, sorry. Joker, not Tiki. Superman, no. Iron Man, no. Sorry. But the most Tiki, it's kind of Aquaman's to lose at this point.
I will say about Tony Stark is he probably drinks more than anybody else and potentially is drinking Tiki drinks.
See, but I would argue that because he always pours it from one of his big crystal chalices, it's always a brown liquor, but I'm guessing he's like a scotch or a bourbon guy.
Probably true. Probably true.
Sorry, John is asking about my Aragorn impression, it's because the hair has just gotten out of control, and I'm a big fan. I don't have a sword, though.
Yet.
Let's get me a sword.
Yet. All right, and the last question I have from Acme Tiki is Hunter S. Thompson's The Curse of Lono Tiki. I'm going to assume that you probably haven't read this book.
Yeah, no.
So
I'll do research on it.
Great book. Great. I think Tay still has my copy. I should probably get that back from him at some point. And it's been years since I've read it, so I'll try and kind of remember the basic plot points. I'm pretty sure this was about his experience Hunter S. Thompson's experience in 1980 going to Hawaii to cover some sporting event of some sort, some race event, if I'm not mistaken. Him and Ralph Steadman go with his family. Ralph Steadman is his artist, basically, who does all the like the artwork that I have on my feet.
Yeah.
All the Fear and Loathing artwork all the Hunter S. Thompson artwork that you see is in his books is Ralph Steadman, who is English. But him and Ralph Steadman's family went and hung out in Hawaii in the 80s, in 1980, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of ended up getting stranded there due to weather. And then, at one point, they go out fishing, and Hunter S. Thompson catches, a marlin, I think, which he beats to death with, a Samoan club. And then he
Sounds
starts...
Yeah,
then he goes back and starts, calling himself Lono, and, all the Hawaiians get mad at him.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm sort of botching the story a little bit, but it's something in there.
I don't...
Great book. Great.
Is it Tiki? It sounds Tiki. It sounds like the wrong way to kind of experience and, go about Tikiness, but Hunter also drank a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of it was rum, so...
Yeah. Rum Diaries. Also great book.
Yeah.
Fiction, if I'm not mistaken. But great nonetheless. So, yeah, I would say that Curse of Lono is relatively Tiki. It's going to be right in the middle, 500s.
500.
I've got 3.5 pineapples.
Low 500s, yeah. No, I think that sounds as you described it. It's in Hawaii. He claims he culturally appropriates. He drinks a lot, and he goes fishing.
It's pretty tiki.
It checks a few boxes.
Yeah. Enough to get 3.5 pineapples.
Yep. That esteemed fucking ranking.
Are you back? There you are.
Yeah, sorry, was I freezing? Good, I didn't have anything good to say anyway. Morgan is saying she's very late, but today's episode should have been a deep dive into all the ways Jeff is Tiki.
We more or less did that.
We covered it pretty good. It was a lot of Mortal Kombat.
A lot. Mostly.
But I think that was important.
Very.
And also, if you would kill 10 people to bring back one person.
Also, was Mortal Kombat Tiki? We didn't even rate the majority of our episode.
I can make that very quick. No. That begins in Japan, and then just what city do they start in? We know it's not Hollywood.
Yeah, no. It's
like Middle America.
Yeah, Middle Earth.
Morgan, you sweetie. But 10 randos would die. And though I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then we got into a big discussion about necromancy and which superhero is the tikiest. I think at the end of the day, we all learned a lot about ourselves and about tiki culture.
And we're not redacting any of it.
No, I don't have anything to apologize for.
Word.
All right. I think we got to call this one. We got to put a pin in it.
I think that was a great episode. Yep. Thank you, everybody, for going over 22 minutes. Although we started late. We started 5 minutes late, so we only went 17 minutes over. Thank you.
That's fine. I think that's a good stretch a bit. We didn't do any segments that were all visually based. I think that's important.
You didn't even visually show off your new shot glasses, Jeff.
Oh, yeah. Well, you mean this guy back here? It's 100 feet away from me. And that guy is as big as my apartment building. This guy is a little gift from Mac. It's just a red little guy. And it has the same expression I have during most of the show.
Also, shout out to Zaya. Shout out to Deadhead Rum. Shout out to Surfside Sips. If you need any of your reusable glass straws, please use the code word. Here's mine. Use the code word, is this Tiki? Get 20% off. That's what's up. Shout out to Happy Tiki Heads podcast with Ian and Robert. Love those guys. All the usuals.
Shout out to Prince. I miss him so much. And it's my birthday.
And DMX.
I'm not ready to... I can't talk about him yet. It's too fresh.
Yeah.
But I appreciate everybody tuning in for a birthday episode.
Thank you so much. Happy birthday, Jeffrey.
Cheers,
Love
mate.
you to death.
Yeah,
Can't wait to actually hang out. Cannibal Crew.
In person.
That's what's up. Yep. We'll make it work soon.
Yeah.
Love everyone. Next week, assumedly, same time. Check the story.
I'll be here.
I'll be here. Stay fresh, cheese bags.
Cheers, mates.